Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Cohn Phone. Uh, Rookie minicamp was yesterday. They have another practice today and tomorrow. Unfortunately, those are closed to the media. So I'm here with you, guessing about what they might be doing. I figure I'll take your calls and answer whatever questions you have about practice, or most of the time, you guys don't have questions. You guys have stuff you want to talk about. So we don't have to talk about rookie minicamp at all. We can do whatever you want. As you notice, I'm not dressed up today. I'm way too sunburned. I didn't wear sunscreen yesterday, and I just burned myself. So I don't have it in me to wear a suit in my bedroom. Now, I want you to know, when I wear the suit, I never wear slacks. I always wear sweatpants. But when I wear the Adidas track jacket, you better believe I wear the pants too. You can't just wear the track jacket. You have to wear the pants. They come together. So I'm looking super fly right now in my bedroom. Just for myself. I like the way I like the way I feel about myself when I wear this. Is it tacky? No. Can you wear an Adidas tracksuit out to a nice restaurant? I think you can. Let's normalize that. I'm going out to dinner with East Bay Chris tonight and his wife, and I'm seriously considering wearing this. Why not? Why not? It's a good look. It's a classic look. Now, if this was a Nike, oh my God, I'd be out of my mind. You can't wear that in public. But Adidas, oh, now you got class. Okay, let's talk. You want to talk? Call in. We can talk Niners. What's up, man?
What's up, Grant?
How you doing?
How you been? I'm pretty good.
Pretty good,
Long
man.
time no see.
Long time, man.
Yeah, man. Remember me from the live chat yesterday?
Yeah.
I thought you were trolling, bro.
That was a lot of fun on the Niners live chat. You guys didn't think it was me at first.
Nah, dude.
I was like, I'm trying to explain it. I'm wearing a white polo. Wait for me.
Yeah, dude. I knew it. I told you to wear your white polo. Dude. I did not think that was you.
There you go.
Yeah, man.
But I'm glad, because there might be in the future there might be imposters. So you got to make sure you got to test them.
I needed you to make sure.
I respect it. I respect it.
Yeah. So yesterday you said Trey Lance looked pretty good in the rookie minicamp, right? So you said one problem with him was that he had slow progressions, right? So like he took a while to get from A to B.
I would expect that from a 21-year-old in his first camp. I would expect that, but that's what I saw. Yeah.
So do you think it's due to him like having like slow processing, or is it because of lack of trust between receiver and
I wouldn't even say it took him a long time to get from 1 to 2 to 3. It just, I saw him going to his third progression a lot. Like with Mac Jones at Alabama or Drew Brees at the Saints, I mean, they don't really go through their progressions. They get there fast. They know where the ball needs to go by the time they reach their back foot. And with Trey yesterday, it was a lot of reach the top of my drop, first receiver not open, hold it, second receiver not open, hold it, check it down, which is fine. It was his first day of practice. I'm sure later on in the process it'll be much more natural to him. So I wasn't alarmed by it at all. It was just like, it was interesting. It's like, of course, first day. All
right, yeah, because I don't know, the slow progression thing, that was a problem with Justin Fields as well, right?
When I was watching it, I was like, this is a little Justin Fieldy. But again, that was Justin Fields after 2 years at Ohio State. This was the first practice, and he was 20 of 24. So again, though, it was 7-on-7. He was holding the ball a little bit longer. I don't know if it would have translated to a game, but he doesn't have to play one of those for 3 months.
Yeah. And man, just yesterday I was thinking of a funny story, man. So our future is Trey Lance now, and when you did your first scouting session, I remember you said he should be a tight end. Man, that was so funny.
I wrote him off real fast, but then everyone that works with him and talks to him is like, hey man, this kid's brilliant. Like, he has all these intangibles and he's an amazing athlete. Like, why don't you go back and look at it with a little bit more of like an optimistic lens and try to think about what he can become and not necessarily what he was at 19 in 2019. And that was a pretty persuasive argument.
Yeah. All right, man.
Good call. Good call, man. See you.
Yeah.
Well, Runa, what's up, man? First in line.
Oh, wow.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
How you doing, man?
Wearing my 49ers t-shirt.
There you go. Cohn Phone Hall of Famer Waruna already.
So I have a different perspective on what you said about yesterday's practice session. I mean, Kyle doing Trey Lance, just the basics, the simple Jimmy stuff. So here's my take. I mean, think about this. You go to a different mainstream media organization, right? Now, your fame includes you have already written a book, you have covered some sport athletes, etc. But the editor asks you, okay, Grant, there is a high school game. I want you to go and cover it. Now you would be like, why should I do it?
I don't want to do that.
I can do these things.
Yeah, I don't
But
want
the
to do
thing is,
Yeah.
he wants to check whether still, even it is just a small thing, you are just following the same steps. You are just having the same work ethic towards simple tasks. So here, Kyle is the alpha. So he wants the quarterback that let his ego go and follow whatever the orders, right?
Yeah. This is what we do. This is what I
Yes,
do.
this is what we do. So can you do that, please, Trey? So I think that's the way I look at it, because I don't think that Zach Wilson has the same attitude, because I see him as a different guy. I don't think how much control that Robert Saleh will have over Zach Wilson. But here's what Kyle is doing. So I think we should not read too much into that. So it's just
that's what I see. It looked like the first rookie minicamp that I've seen every year with Kyle Shanahan, and I think that's how this is how we work here. This is what you're expected to do. And I guess the reason I was critical of Kyle yesterday, it was I laid this out before minicamp. I said, this is what I expect from Kyle. This is what I'm holding him to. No one else is going to talk about it, but it's what I want to see. And I didn't see it, and I just wanted to be consistent. Maybe he'll do it today and tomorrow. We won't get to
yes.
Maybe he'll do it all throughout OTAs. And I'm not like really coming down hard on Kyle. I'm just saying, Kyle, I'm watching. Come on, man. Now is the time. Now's a perfect time. Perfect time. Yeah.
Perfect time.
Yeah. Because he looks like he can do the Jimmy stuff. And the Jimmy stuff is like 3 things. It's not a lot.
Yeah. But still, I think Kyle wants Trey to just practice that.
Agree.
Yeah.
It's like your scales on the piano, right? You got to learn your scales first. Yeah.
So the next big thing is, I want to build the case that why Trey Lance should start from day one.
Okay.
Remember, you said that there is a high chance average coach winning Super Bowl than the average quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So I did my homework. Out of 55 Super Bowls that has been played, 43 of them has been won by either a quarterback who is already in the Hall of Fame or who will be Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
When I say who will be Hall of Famers, includes Ben Roethlisberger, Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, already a Hall of Fame talent, then Drew Brees and Tom Brady. Yeah. Even these other 12 instances, quarterbacks like Jim McMahon, like BYU, number 1 quarterback when Steve Young arrived, College Football Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. So that's the first thing. Second thing, last week, Amin said that why are we giving too many too many opportunities to Jimmy, saying he went to the Super Bowl? That's not an excuse anymore, right? So other argument that comes in is Jimmy is 22-8, but who are the quarterbacks that Kyle had when Jimmy was not around? Nick and CJ.
Right.
Can Trey Lance be that bad as Nick and CJ? I don't think so.
Yeah.
So why don't you start him from the very beginning? I mean, let the kid grow.
Yeah.
There will be growing pains. I understand, but it's time to move on from Jimmy. And still, I don't get the fact that people are saying that Jimmy will bowl out this year. Remember last year, first game was Cardinals? Jimmy was awful.
People said he was going to ball out last year, second year in the system. Why? It's not going to happen. Oh, he's going to ball out because he's angry this year. First of all, I've never seen Jimmy Garoppolo angry. What is he angry about? He has $90 million. How mad is he? How engaged is he? Yes. I'm worried. I wonder.
Yeah, that's the thing. So start Trey Lance from the day one. I believe that should be the way to go.
My main takeaway from yesterday's practice wasn't that Kyle blew it. I quibbled with his practice plan. He could get there tomorrow or today. My biggest takeaway is that Trey Lance looks ready to meet. I mean, I'm not going to. That was a lot. He looks like he might be ready. 2024, no fumbles, no picks. He looked like he'd been running that offense for a while. Now, it was simple stuff, but what they're giving him, he's knocking out of the park so far. That's bad news for Jimmy because he's really inconsistent in practice.
Yeah. And Jimmy was holding into the ball in that Arizona game awful lot time.
Yep.
That was
and he doesn't check it down. How often do you see Jimmy Garoppolo check the ball down? What Trey Lance did yesterday was check the ball down like 10 times. And it was a point of emphasis. They had him, when I say he was going through his progressions, they were coaching that. He watch it in warm-ups. They had him, I want you to look here, and throw to your running back. Look here, and throw to your running back. So then a lot of times what they have you do in warm-ups, they want you to do in 7-on-7s. Yeah. So maybe it was a coaching point, like really belabor the point. Look here, and check it down. And he did. So I'm not going to say that he did something too slow or wrong. He may have just been executing exactly what they wanted him to do on day one. I think he did.
Yeah. That's the thing. Okay.
Always great to see you. Hall of Famer. Cohn Phone Hall of Famer.
Okay, thank you.
Great to see you, man.
Okay, good to see you too.
Take care. I don't think he's ever missed a Cohn Phone. He's definitely in the Cohn Phone Hall of Fame. What's up? How you doing, Korean Niner?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
You did get. It does look like you got some sun, but that's never a bad thing, though.
Yeah, it looks worse in real life. It's just red. But anyway, how you doing?
Yeah. So, based on what from your information on the rookie camp yesterday, it looks like appears that Trey Lance is on his way to at least getting early playing time in game one in case if Garoppolo does get named as a starter for the first game. But do you still see Garoppolo potentially being traded after June 1 because of the cap implications that, us getting that, recouping that most of that 25 million back?
That's a great question. Let's linger on this for a second. Most likely not. What would have to happen for the Niners to feel confident enough to trade Jimmy Garoppolo June 1? One, they'd have to get a good offer. Two, they'd have to feel like Trey Lance is exceeding expectations. And from what I saw yesterday, project that on him now, but first day, good first impression. 20-24, he was going against rookies. Let's see what he looks like going up against Jason Verrett and Nick Bosa and the big boys. But really good first impression. If he, think about it, OTA start the 24th, he'll have a few practices if he's just off the chart. If he's clearly better than Jimmy and Jimmy's fine, Jimmy's Jimmy and Trey's better, hey, great. So I think, they'll have a few practices to watch where they can potentially make that decision. And then they don't have to trade him June 1. They could trade him June 15th because mini camp goes up to about June 12th or June 10th, something like that. So they'll have a few weeks of practices to watch and observe and make a decision.
One last question. Since there's 3 preseason games, how many reps or series do you envision?
Great question.
Trey getting?
It's a great question.
To me, at least that's going to be a barometer on where he's at.
Well, it's a great question. It's the first year they have 3 instead of 4. They used to have it a slow ramp up, right? It would be like the starters wouldn't play week 1. Maybe they play a series week 1 and then a quarter and then a half and then not at all, right? So I don't know how coaches are going to do it this time. I'll have to talk to some coaches and ask how they're going to change it. But I would imagine that Jimmy gets a little week 1 and Trey Lance gets a lot. And then week 2 is that? No, because there's a bye week now. So what they'll do is just, I guess, eliminate that last one. And then the third will be the dress rehearsal like normal. And then you'll have a bye week. Okay. So let's try it. Trey Lance plays a lot week 1. Jimmy Garoppolo plays a little. Week 2, Garoppolo plays a quarter. Lance plays a quarter. Week 3, Garoppolo plays a half. Maybe Lance plays a half. So Lance will get every opportunity to impress. And Niner fans don't care about Jimmy anymore. If Trey Lance plays well, there's going to be a lot of pressure to play him, just like there was pressure not to draft Mac Jones.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Yes.
So
pressure was the word I was looking for.
Yeah, so I am repping the 49ers hat this week.
Repping it.
Yeah,
looking
so
good, man.
So thank you for the points on the two drafted cornerbacks, because it appears that we do definitely need to start overhauling it. And it's good that as long as they understand that we'll have to get used to the growing pains, but it appears that the rebuild has started. For the
no doubt. Now keep in mind, like, they weren't going against any like 3rd or 4th round picks at wide receiver. So they did what they were supposed to do, but man, Diamador, I couldn't see. He was like on the far. I saw that he intercepted Trey Lance in one-on-ones, and the receiver was Austin Watkins, but it was a cool 75 yards away. There's a video now, like right over the top of him, and you see Diamador just destroy him. that was a very impressive rep. He was kind of that was the rep of the day from practice. That was it.
All right. Yeah. Thank you.
See you, man.
See you.
What's up?
Hey, Ram.
How you doing?
I'm fine. So just for noticing, last time we talked, I think we do a pretty good job together at it. Because if you remember, we talked after the first round of the draft, and I said I don't understand why Elijah Moore was still there because the best slot receiver in the draft. And you say, yeah, I think we should go Campbell because it's better and because cornerback. And who goes first and second on the second round? Like
exactly.
Campbell and Moore back to back.
That's
so
right.
We were pretty on point on that.
That was, yeah. I remember that.
I want to talk about Hodgman out. So by position with what the Niner drafted, who do you think will be the first guy to jump or not playing or be traded on those positions? Because I think there's a lot of guys that were started like last year that may not be this year. So we should go like offensive line. Like there will. It seems like everybody is forgetting about Daniel Brunskill. So they draft Banks. So second round, he will be the starting right guard, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
So now Brunskill have kind of no place in the O-line if he's not playing right tackle. So, and Moore seems to be like a decent guy, maybe like an extra guy, but he maybe compete too. So do you think there will be a real like three-man fight for the right tackle position?
And you're forgetting. I don't know. They're going to keep McGlinchey there, but look at all the guards they have. They have Brunskill, they have Moore, who they just drafted, and McKivitz from last year. So
I think they get real fed up fast with McKivitz. I don't think
they drafted him. Yeah. They have him for another 3 years. I mean, it just seems like he shouldn't fall behind McKivitz, but what's going to happen to Brunskill?
Do you think Brunskill can play left guard and they get rid of Tomlinson? I don't see that happen.
Well, Tomlinson is only signed through this year. So next year he'll be gone, and the left guard could be Banks. It could be Moore. It could be Brunskill. But I think their plan for Brunskill, it seems like they want him to be the backup who can play every position, not necessarily
the utility player. Like
utility, yeah.
So there's the running back too. So it seems they get fed up also to people who get injured all the time. So they draft like 2 running backs. So maybe they don't like trade them or get them. Do you think like Wilson Jr. and Mostert can be at odds if they get like injured again and be benched for Sherman or Mitchell? Because it seems like they draft position where they were already strong and a lot of people wasn't there. So I don't see how they can keep all those players and fit them all in the roster.
They have a lot of running backs and a lot of quarterbacks too.
Yeah, they have a lot of wide receiver, but you can cut those. That's not really a matter. But all those running backs, like HT's pretty good, Mostert's pretty good, Wilson Jr. is pretty good. They draft Sherman. Yeah, so yeah, they signed that guy too. So I don't know who's the first to jump, but it's kind of.
Well, I mean, this team's had such a problem with injuries. It seems like maybe you don't get rid of any of these guys for a while. Like, see who makes it through camp. Jalen Hurd couldn't make it through 2 weeks of camp, so maybe you see who. Maybe this decision makes itself by who stays healthy.
And maybe the last one, like Tufonga, I don't know to say his name, like the first round pick. Like even if it's like a guy who get injured and all things. I think he split between safety and linebacker, but I really think they may be drafting to replace Al-Shair. I think like he will refit really well linebacker, like with Warner and Dre Greenlaw, like with his.
I don't know, man. I think he's going to knock himself out. He's had concussions. He's had shoulder issues. I mean, I think he plays that way, but he's 200 pounds. I think if his body was breaking down from all that contact in college, I promise you the collisions are more violent and faster in the NFL. So, yeah, I think ideally that would be his best position, and maybe he should be given a shot to play it. I just wonder how long he'll last. But I also wonder, like, the same stuff with Jimmy Ward. He's ended up becoming more durable as time went on. So I'm not going to write him off. It's interesting. They got – I think right now with him, the expectation is to be like an ace on special teams and to figure it out from him. If he can do that, that's a good pick in round 5.
Yeah, so that was about it. So thank you. See you
Great
guys.
to talk. See you, man. Take care. Hey, what's up, man?
What's up?
How you doing? Good, man.
Been a minute.
It has been a minute. Good to see you.
Want to talk about not Diamond, Embry Thomas, and a
Okay.
little bit about Lance. I really like Embry Thomas just from the highlights because they seem to utilize him in a bunch of different ways. Like I'm pretty sure he's going to be our kick returner, or at least punt returner, something like that. I saw them using him a little bit in jet sweep too. He's fast. He's like 4'3", isn't it? It's
Yes.
gotta be the fastest guy on our team. I don't
That's a
know
good
if
point. I mean, I really want the Niners to use Brandon Ayuk as their returner. Embry Thomas is faster.
right, because
He's faster.
I think they're not using Ayuk because of they're afraid he might get injured. He seems to be more valuable. I mean, if you throw in a defensive guy in there, he's
Cowards.
kind of like
Cowards. But yeah, hey, if that's the plan, is that this guy is more expendable because he's a late
Right.
third round pick, and he's also got a little more juice.
Defense, and he's on defense. They tend to be more expendable than offensive guys. I think.
True. Especially from Kyle Shanahan's perspective, and also I guess from his, he can say, well, he's got more juice, he's faster.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that Michigan did use him on offense a little bit. So he's kind of
want to see him in a jet sweep, just at least for decoy, because like with Debo and him out there and Lance, imagine Lance out there running like those read options that we used to do with like Cap, then that could be a real asset.
Absolutely. I think it's interesting. I was curious to see what they do with him at corner yesterday. He looked so easy for him. Like Diamador was all like frenetic and hyper, which worked for him. Embry Thomas looked like he was jogging. Like he was like,
yeah,
there's no one on this field who can
who
can really stress me.
My only gripe about Lenore is that he is short, so obviously we're not going to put him against like somebody tall. Maybe he could be like the nickel corner. If it's lateral, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I expected. But they had him outside, and the thing about him is he's really physical. He's gets all up in your face, and he might work out outside. I don't know. He's not super. He looks good. He looks like muscled up. He's not 6 feet tall, but he looks really.
How's his wingspan? I know
it's not. See, he's kind of small and he's not that fast, but he just gets all up in your face, man. He's a pest. He's good.
He's like Emmanuel Sanders, except more athletic, probably.
I don't know. I don't know who I would compare him to. I'll get back to you on that. A comp.
Yeah.
For him.
For I want to ask about Lance. Do you see like sort of an alpha male leadership type of attitude from him? Yeah, because I love that he's really humble. I love how he carried himself at the draft because everyone came up to the podium. They were high-fiving everybody, let's go. And Lance just comes up with a really professional demeanor. And even though I love that, do you think Kyle's going to take advantage of that and just, okay, we picked you because, you're a nice guy and you're just going to follow the rules? Or do you think eventually he could step up into sort of the leadership role?
I don't know. I haven't met him face to face. I've only been on 2 Zoom interviews with him, and I've seen 1 practice. I don't have a good read on him yet. He seems very mature. He seems very polished. He's 21, so he could be a lot different in 3 years. He could be a totally different person, man. So that's a good question, though. Let me get some more raw data and think about it.
Hey, appreciate it, man. As always.
Appreciate you, man. Take care. Big Baller said I was a Run DMC guy. Yeah, and the Beastie Boys. Come on. I'm Jewish. Offensive line, Williams, Banks. 2022, Williams, Banks, Mack, Moore, Brunskill. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be it. Not McKivitz. Hey, Chase.
Hey, what's up, Grant?
How you doing, man?
It's my first. Not bad. It's my first time on the show. How are you?
Welcome. Where are you calling from?
I'm actually calling from West Virginia.
Cool, man. That's tight.
Yeah,
I didn't expect you to sing, but I sing unexpectedly all the time. So we have that in common. What's on your mind today, man?
Another thing I have in common is I like being negative. So, who on the 49ers?
Are we best friends?
Maybe. I don't know. Who do you think is going to get injured first in the 49ers, and how do you think that's going to affect them?
Oh, man. Look, that's a rough one. Fans get mad when you predict injuries. I don't want to speak that into existence. But people that you have to worry about on the Niners, when's the Kittle injury going to happen? Because it happens every year. When's the Debo injury going to happen? When's the Nick Bosa injury going to happen? These are questions you got to ask. And that's why when you look at the Niners on paper, you can always say they're one of the better teams in the league. but they have this 8-year trend of injuries, and all their best players have injury histories. So you got to wonder, like, I don't know, who do you think is going to be? Who's going to be the first one?
It depends who's playing. If Jimmy's playing, definitely Jimmy. And if it's Jimmy's not playing, I have to go with Nick Bosa. I love Nick Bosa. I actually have his jersey, and I think it's gonna be Nick Bosa, man.
You got a lot of courage coming on the stream, making prediction on who's going to get hurt. I bet you all the fans are really loving you right now, man. I love you, Chase, MVP from West Virginia. What do you got planned for today? What does a man like Chase do on a Saturday?
Actually, I was getting ready to win the hockey game, so I'm not sure when the Bruins and Capitals play. Although I don't like either of them. I like the Penguins. I'm not.
See, that's
sure
the
when
thing.
they're gonna.
Hockey's big on the East Coast, isn't it? It's really not that big on
Sort
the
of.
West Coast.
It's bigger
Okay.
in like places like New York, but I
Yeah,
love
Chicago, Detroit. Yeah. Well, that's cool. That's cool, man. Well, it was a pleasure to meet you. I hope you call in again.
All right, thank you.
Take care, man. Hey, Chris.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, man. What are you calling from?
I'm calling from Arizona, man. I'm calling from
Nice.
Arizona. Yeah,
Nice.
man.
Is it hot? Is it hot today?
Oh, it's always hot, man. It's always hot. I have just a couple of comments, man. One of the things is I really love your show, man, especially with the kids, man. Have you ever thought about, helping them out, maybe doing like a tutorial and maybe having them come on and ask a question when you're live with Kyle and all of them, or something like that?
That's a good idea. Maybe I'll talk to the Niners PR director when they hire one and see if I can get like an intern program for the kids.
Yeah, because I work
idea.
with kids as well, and I just think that is really cool, man. I think you are excellent at what you do, man. I love your show.
Man. Thank you.
I'm originally from the Bay Area. I'm from Oakland. As a matter of fact, I used to live across the street from O'Dowd. Where that fire station is?
Yes.
And right above it are those condominiums, those towns.
Yep.
I used to live right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
I went to O'Dowd. Where'd you go to school out here?
I went to Berkeley High.
Oh,
I went to Berkeley High. Yeah.
Nice.
But just one comment though. My thing was this. Coaching matters more so in this sport than in basketball, because we were just one draft away from, I feel, really being back down at the bottom. And I think the biggest question mark that we have this year is gonna be the defensive coordinator, because when Harbaugh came in, people were expecting the team to kind of flip, but we have so much talent, but we had no coach.
Mm-hmm.
And now our defense is really good, but if he can't put it together, or even in game, because there were games that we were in just because of the defense.
Let me ask you a question, Chris. Let me ask you a question. How many games this upcoming season, are the 49ers going to win because of an in-game adjustment D'Amico Ryans made?
God, I couldn't even tell you.
Let me ask you another question. How many games this year are the Niners going to lose because of an in-game adjustment D'Amico Ryans didn't make?
I might say about 4 or 5.
That's what I'm saying, man. This is what you're talking about. These little things determine games, and it's what my issue was with Robert Saleh in his first 2 years. I felt like he had no in-game adjustments that worked. And by the end, he was pushing all the right buttons. It's rough to lose that guy.
Yeah. I totally agree. If he can come in and do the job, perfect, man. But it's going to be a transition. I just got one more comment. Real quick
before we change the subject. I love this subject. Compare what the Niners did to what the Rams did. The Rams lost their guy too, Brandon Staley. Yeah. He's now the head coach with the Chargers or something. He's great last year. So they got rid of him. And did they promote a novice from their staff? No. They brought in Raheem Morris, who's really good.
Yeah.
The Niners
I was hoping we could get him.
Could have got Raheem Morris, but no, they promoted a novice from their staff who has – look, Kyle hired Robert Saleh, so he may know, and this guy may be great, but Robert Saleh struggled at first, and that team was rebuilding. This team, they can't afford for D'Amico Ryans to struggle at first. They're supposed to be ready to go.
No, we can't. We can't struggle. I mean, we're ready to go as is. I mean, because this is the thing. All of the quarterbacks in our division are getting old. And I mean the NFC.
It's true.
And if you look at the projection of it, I mean, we're right where we need. Breeze is gone. Brady will be gone. Stafford is old. Who else can you? Aaron Rodgers is getting old. But after that, who else is there that can really challenge?
Breeze just left. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's we need our defense to step up. But I will say this one last thing. You are Grant Cohn. Okay. You are the man. Please check out the restaurant before you go. If not, just put on a shirt or something. Don't go in there with the Adidas. You're Grant Cohn. You are better than that. You are the man. You got millions of followers. You got everybody.
Okay. Let me ask you.
You are the man.
What is the etiquette? Like, is it cool to, like, Tuesday night at the bar you can wear the tracksuit, but not a restaurant?
Yeah, it just depends on the flavor of, because you're Grant Cohn. That's the problem.
If
someone
catches me slipping,
if you're a scrub, that'll be different. You expect that from a scrub, but you're not a scrub. You're Grant Cohn.
My wife is gonna be so happy that you're giving me this pep talk right now, man. Thank you.
You are better.
Thank you.
Man. Yeah, man. Yeah, get to the other college. You have a good one, man.
You too, man. Have a great day.
All right.
That was a hell of a debut. Chef Tommy.
What's good?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I can't complain.
That's cool. Me neither.
I want to apologize for last week. I can't believe I brought up Mel Gibson. F that that anti-Semitic piece of ass.
Yeah, forget that.
Screw that guy. I cannot believe it. Anyway, I apologize.
That's also how I feel about Jared Hayne. People bring him up. I'm like,
oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
That's good. Did you say that that they're running Jimmy G's offense?
It was one day, but yeah, man, it was a ton of little quick passes, no pocket movement. I was like, Kyle.
But I didn't know Jimmy had an offense. Isn't that Kyle's offense? If it was Jimmy's offense, it would be like.
It's the offense that Kyle has created for the quarterbacks he had the last 4 years in San Francisco. Here's the thing. There is a lot of, it's not just rumors. All the top reporters have reported that Kyle Shanahan wanted Mac Jones more than Trey Lance. And if that's the case, then I got to wonder, how is Kyle all in with Trey Lance? Yes, he liked him, but is there a Trey Lance package, or is he just saying, all right, well, let's see if he can run my offense? Like, that's concerning. And what I saw yesterday was that, but there's an entire offseason, and I'm hopeful that Kyle will be installing other things later.
Because if it was Jimmy G's offense, I think he'd be doing the all-star handoffer kind of thing.
There was no 11 on 11 yesterday. It was all 7 on 7.
Right.
But the amount of 3-yard passes was like, wow, amazing.
Yeah.
Nothing down the field, nothing.
I think that's why they didn't take Justin Fields, because he's not really a good check down QB at all. Like I
think you're right. And if you go back to the press conference where they drafted Trey Lance, one of the first things that Kyle says about Trey Lance is he checks the ball down. He actually said that. Checks the ball down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think maybe he's not trying to tip his hat yet and see that to show how he's going to utilize him in the future.
Kyle, if you're watching, everyone knows that Trey Lance is going to be rolling out sometimes. You can practice it. You're not.
Definitely.
It's not a state secret, man. Roll left, roll right. Everyone's like, you got to practice the basics first.
He throws on the run pretty well.
Those are the basics. He's phenomenal at throwing on the run. Let him practice. That's definitely something he's going to be doing.
Jeff Garcia was good at that too.
So was Cap.
Huh.
So was that Steve Young guy.
Oh yeah, Steve Young.
And Joe was good too. On Twitter, Jesse Brooks, who went to my high school, has been posting clips of young Joe Montana from the NFC Championship game 1981. Shockingly athletic.
Oh yeah.
I think people remember like older Joe. Younger Joe could move.
Well, the catch when he was rolling out right to
fading away. It's very athletic play.
Yeah. Do you think there's any sleeper teams that are trash right now in the Niners schedule? We're playing a lot of bad teams, but maybe there's a sleeper.
Sleeper, Atlanta, late in the season.
Yeah. Atlanta. Just because you're a draft crush.
Yeah, well, him, Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Hayden Hurst, Matt Ryan. Not bad.
Oh,
2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, and a hell of a quarterback that's underrated.
how about this? We get rid of Jimmy G and get Julio Jones somehow. Are we an instant contender? He's kind of old though, but
How you gonna do that, man?
I don't
How
know.
you gonna do that?
I don't know. I just heard that somehow they're gonna get him, but I don't see it.
know. Nah, probably not. He missed half a season last year with a hamstring injury. He might be. I don't
But
know.
that's right up the Niners' alley, injury prone.
I don't know if they have the picks to send it to him, man. What are you doing?
Yeah, I
today?
don't think so. Oh, I'm just enjoying the day off. I'm probably not gonna do anything.
It's nice. Well, it looks like you're enjoying it already, man. You got the hat, you got the shades, balling, man. Is that Kangol? Get the Kangol?
Yeah, I got a few of these, like at least
That's
3.
right, baby. I gotta get a Kangol, right? Man, I'm inspired. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you as well. I'll see you
Take
next time.
All right,
Bye.
man. See ya. Yo, what's up? You're muted, but there you go. What's up? How you doing?
What up? So, I think
What
you
up?
got too many yes men on your show, man.
All right, well,
You-
tell me how it is, man.
y'all wanted what? Kyle Pitts at 3 when we have what? Like you like Ross Dwelly, right? You wanted to bench Ross Dwelly, and because they already got two tight ends, right? That I think are pretty good. Why do you need Kyle Pitts? Like it's not a need.
It's not a need. No,
It's
not a need.
Well, Jimmy's still gonna get hurt, and you're gonna go 2-14 or something. Like, look, Kyle Pitts. I don't know what that was about, Graham. But
all right.
So
we'll see.
All right. So what I really wanted to get about was like the Jimmy plan. So I think you're overcritical of the Jimmy plan yesterday. So I think the main difference between Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance is going to be the running game. So it's going to be like triple option or something, and like some. I want to see them like run crazy, like run plays with that Kyle Shanahan can like draw up and create a nice like scheme with the run game. And the pass game with the Jimmy offense, it's like what run, and then play action. And that's like, yeah, he's like play action is up Trey Lance's alley, right? And I think like that's when you run like play action is when it's gonna be like, look, then you're rolling out, and then it's gonna be like different. But like, how do you run play action in like a 7-on-7?
That's true.
Like you can't, right? And then they weren't running yesterday. And also another thing is Kyle Shanahan, I think we all knew wanted Mac Jones, right? So how is he gonna have a new plan for rookie minicamp in like 2 weeks? Like, I don't think you can expect him to like completely change his like rookie minicamp that he had for 4 straight years in like 2 weeks. And then he doesn't know if it's gonna work. It's only 3 days, and you have to make him look good in front of the media. And I guess he knows what like quarterbacks look good by throwing 4-yard passes and then getting the
way I look at it is like during the warm-ups, when you warm up all the different throws you want to do that day, the outs, the check downs, the deeper throws. That's like a golfer warming up before he takes his round. And it's like you want to hit all your shots. You want to hit all your clubs and get a feel, I would imagine. And that's one of his clubs. That's one of his shots. Why would you not warm up doing that? It's like, okay, he's going to be doing that later on. It just seems strange to have him stationary the whole day when I don't agree that the only way you use him uniquely is in the quarterback run game. I mean, he's too valuable to be used that way. What if he separates his shoulder? What if he gets a concussion? He's the first round pick in 2 years from now. You can't get him hurt. So I think a good way to utilize his athleticism is to get him outside the pocket where he can throw. That's safer. Now you don't have to worry about him taking on hits. That's all I'm saying. I feel like that's a great way to use. Like, you never see Jimmy roll out. The Jimmy rollout stuff doesn't exist because he's so slow. They keep him in the pocket most of the time, and that's fine for him. But if they do that with Trey Lance down the line, they're not using him to his full capabilities, in my opinion.
All right,
it's just day one, though.
Yeah, but how do you do rollouts do you roll out in like 7-on-7?
In a warm up? I'm just saying warm-ups.
I don't know what rookie minicamp is like. So like, do coaches regularly do that, or did Harbaugh do that?
Yeah. Here's how it starts. Practice starts and everyone goes to their position groups and they warm up the things that they're going to be doing that day. And the quarterbacks start by throwing to trainers. You throw short throws, longer throws to the right, to the left. And at a certain point in practice, usually the time when there's special teams halfway through, the quarterbacks go back to the quarterback coach and they work on rollout passes, deep throws, pocket movement, things like that. You see it all the time. And Trey Lance is going to do that. He didn't do it on day one. It doesn't mean that he's not going to do it ever. It's not the end of the world. I just noticed it. I'm allowed to say that I noticed it.
I guess, but I'm just saying.
I guess.
It's like it's one day. It's the
Man,
media's
you're not
there
letting up on me.
to over criticize everything. Man, I feel bad for Justin Fields, by the way. Like, I think the media was already like, he did all right, and then it's like the negative Andes over there in
really?
Chicago. Yeah,
I didn't see it.
it's like they were like, he did all right. It's like, even though I think like the goal was he did good, but like the perception is he did all right.
See, I really believe that the Niners were trying to craft a positive day. 2024, Trey Lance did good. That's the headline. That's a good thing. If you had him doing more ambitious stuff, maybe he struggles at first, which is not a problem. It's okay. You're allowed to struggle in May. But then you get the headline you got in Chicago, and all of a sudden fans are worried. They're nervous. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, hey, look, thank you for coming on my channel and setting me straight. You are definitely not a yes man. You nailed it. That was great.
Real quick, what's the locker room message before the Tennessee game? Is it like, hey man, we're about to lose?
I don't know. That's a good question. For Kyle. Kyle, what do you tell these guys? Hey man, he'll probably say like, hey, we're pros. He's not a big rah-rah guy. I think he's gonna be like, hey, we have to do this.
All right.
Good to see you, man.
All right, thank you.
Man, he would not let up on me. I think I held my own though. What's up, man?
Yo, what's good?
What's up?
So
hey, good stream the other day with Amin and Ben. I watched that. You guys were killing it.
Thank you, dude.
Nice.
It better be.
By the time you're 22, you're gonna have like 10 years of experience, man. That's cool.
Dude, it better be worth it, bro. I did 2 shows in the past 2 days that were like an
tired?
hour, 30 minutes, bro. My throat, bro, hurts so. I feel so
That's
bad.
funny, man. You better be careful. Them child labor laws. Can't be doing too much.
You got like, you do like 2, 3 shows a day that are like an hour and a half, so your throat must kill you.
Well, a lot of the time I just listen, man. My guests talk and talk and talk. So I just am like, oh, that's cool. That's what's up. I like that. Anyway.
So I have to make a statement.
Please do.
Is it safe to say that the Niners have the easiest schedule in the NFC?
Oh, I don't know, but they definitely have the easiest schedule in the NFC West. I haven't looked at everyone else's schedule, but it's got to be in the run.
It's easy schedule.
I heard that Tampa has a good schedule too. I haven't looked at it though.
No, I haven't.
Tampa's supposed to have a good an easy schedule.
But it's like, we were talking about this. You look at the Niners schedule and stuff. You look at their, how do I say this? Like their overall like talent level and where they should. If everybody had an even schedule in the NFL, where they would rank in the NFC, they would be like 7, 6, 8, somewhere in there. But with their schedule, we were talking about this, how they can probably be the 1 through 3 seed. They could be anywhere in there because Amin had them like 14, 13 wins. I had them 12 wins. Benjamin had them 11 wins. Those are a lot of wins that can get you within the first 4 spots. But they're not that they are a talented team, but they're not 1 to 3 seed talented team.
Well, look at it this way. They do have 2 games on the road to start the season, which isn't great, but it's Detroit and Philly.
Exactly.
They should win those games. They should start the season 2-0. That's a good way to start. Last season they started 0-1. That's a rough way to start.
I also saw your thumbnail for the video where it was like last 2 times we started off playing Detroit, Super Bowl win. So who knows? It could be like that again.
If they just get a little stability at the quarterback position and better luck with injuries, and D'Amico Ryans is up to the task, this team's going to be great.
Yeah, well, good news is, also on access, do you think Trey Lance will start week 1?
I already bet my dad that he will. So, yeah, if nothing I saw yesterday makes me change my opinion. I've had a feeling that he was going to come in and look ready. I saw Kaepernick. Kaepernick was 23, but he never played under center. He was in that pistol offense, and he needed to learn how to do that to play on the Niners, and he was fumbling snaps. It was like, this guy can't play. Trey Lance can He can play. The question is now, is he better than Jimmy? Not is he like going to embarrass himself? Is he ready? He's ready. Is he better than Jimmy? We'll see. I haven't seen him against vets yet.
Well, good news is he got how many games you got in the preseason this year? 3, 4, and then you got 3 games in preseason, and then you got 2 actual games to get ready. Because hate to say it, but Detroit they're probably not going to be that big of a challenge. And then the Eagles aren't bad, but like we should beat them.
It just seems to me that like it's really not a choice. Everyone's like, well, what do you think Kyle's going to choose to make Trey Lance a starter? If Trey Lance is great in the preseason and Jimmy Garoppolo is Jimmy Garoppolo, fans are going to demand that Trey Lance is the starter. And I don't think the Niners want to go against that. And then if he's not that much better than Jimmy, but Jimmy starts week 1 and loses to the Lions, fans are going to demand that Trey Lance is going to be the starter next week. So it's kind of going to be organic in a sense, I think.
All right, yeah. So last thing,
Mhm.
What do you think is the 49ers trap game? Like where you feel like they think that they got an easy win, but it's going to
Atlanta at home. Atlanta at home. It was the same one 2 years ago. It's late in the season. It's right before they have to fly to Tennessee and lose that scheduled Thursday night awful game. Atlanta at home. No one really thinks that much of Atlanta. Their defense is historically not good, but they have a new coaching staff. Arthur Smith, the head coach, is better than whatever, who was it, Dirk Cutter, whoever the hell the offensive coordinator was there last year. He's better. And then the defensive coordinator, Dean Pease, was with the Ravens for a long time. He's way better than Dan Quinn, who's terrible. So, and then the addition of Kyle Pitts to go along with Hayden Hurst and Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley. Yeah, that's a stacked team. It's a contender.
I would honestly say the Vikings, because you look at what we got. Our toughest part of the schedule, we go Colts, Bears, Cardinals, Rams, and then we see it starts to easen up with the Jaguars. And then you got the Vikings, where you're probably going to overlook them. I had them losing because I think we're going to overlook them too much. They're a good football team. You look at Dalvin Cook last year.
It's a brutal stretch, by the way. Brutal.
Dalvin Cook balled out last year.
He might be the best running back in the league. He's amazing.
He's in top 2 or 100% or top 3 100%. Because you look at Derrick Henry and Christian McCaffrey and all those guys. Dalvin Cook was putting up numbers like that last year, and he balled out when they played Green Bay, who has a stellar defense.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. They just something about Vikings. They get overlooked way too much. Like in the playoffs last year.
No, the Vikings are better than the Falcons. I was actually taking them for granted. That is definitely a game the Niners could lose. The Niners are lucky that it's a home game. But as you mentioned, it's at the end of a brutal stretch. Say it again, Colts.
So Colts, Bears, Cardinals.
Hold on. Colts at home, Bears in Chicago. That's 2,000 miles. Then you come back and you play what?
You play Cardinals at home and then Rams at home.
That's a tough team. And that's another tough team. And then what's after? That's 4 tough games.
You got the Jaguars. So I said
again, that's 3,000 miles.
Exactly. And you're going to start to ease up. You're going to think, okay, it's going to start getting easier. But then you get another team like the Vikings that you're just going to overlook, and they're a really tough.
Absolutely. So the Vikings are the 6th team in a brutal stretch. In that stretch, you have 2 cross-country trips, and the Vikings are at the end of the second one. They could be exhausted by that. Absolutely. Exactly. So you're facing the Vikings when you're tired. When they creamed the Vikings in the playoffs, the Vikings were gassed. They had played, I think, 6 days earlier in New Orleans. Back-to-back road games is brutal.
Yeah, exactly.
Niners coming off a bye.
They're always overlooked, especially the Saints games. They beat them twice, the Minnesota Miracle, and you like that?
Especially when Kellen Mond becomes their starting quarterback.
Exactly. No, Kirk Cousins is going to get old. Kirk Cousins reminds me a lot of Phillip Rivers is going to get old like that. And then Kellen Mond's going to have to take over. Could be sooner, could be later. You never know.
Can't wait. Hey, man, great to see you. Let me know when you're going live next. But don't overwork your, vocal cords, man. You got a whole life ahead of you. Yes, good stuff, dude. You already know what time it is. It's start all time. What's up?
My first question for you. I have 2 questions, by the way.
Always got 2 questions, man. I love that about you.
My first question is, what are your thoughts about the 49ers re-signing Kai Nakwa, strong safety Nakwa, to a 1-year extension? The safety?
I don't know. I don't think he's gonna make the team, but I'll let me find out more about him and get back to you. That was a tough. I didn't expect that one.
And my second question is, do you think Jimmy's gonna be a mentor for Trey Lance to help him develop him into a better quarterback, so he'll be great for the upcoming season? Kind of like when
No,
Steph Curry was like James
no.
Wiseman was not good, and Steph Curry developed Wiseman to a better center for the Warriors, because like Wiseman was so like
Chardal.
he's what?
Chardal, if you were the quarterback of the 49ers and everyone blamed you for not winning a Super Bowl, and then they drafted some kid who was 10 years younger than you to take your job, how eager would you be to help him take that job? I'm just asking. Human nature question.
I would be super eager to take that job.
Yeah, if you were Trey, but if they say if you're Jimmy, are you just handing it over? Be like, Trey, this is exactly what you need to do to beat me out. I wanted to, because out of the goodness of my heart, I want you to be. I suck. I want you to be the quarterback. Wouldn't you compete? That's the way I think about it, man. I mean, it's Jimmy Garoppolo's job to be polite and civil, but it's not his job to like mentor the kid. Like, hey, man, if you want to take my job, come take it. I'm gonna keep trying to be the quarterback.
But he has to he's playing football for so long, and he needs to like mentor. He needs to tell Trey Lance that learn the stuff from me. Because I've been playing football for years. You need to know the skills from the game. For me,
when you put it that way, Chardal, I think you're right.
Yeah, he needs to know the skills of the game, right? You need to be talented, because Jimmy's been playing football for the Niners for like I don't know how many years, man.
A lot of years.
Probably for his whole life, probably
his whole life. Yeah, he's been playing for the Niners his whole life.
Trey Lance needs to learn from Jimmy that learn from me. I'm the pro. Learn from the pros. You gotta learn from the pros.
Chardal, this is your best call ever. You're just killing it today.
Yeah, learn from the pros.
That's right, man.
Yeah, the pros know what they're doing.
That's right. Tell him, Chardal.
I'll tell them, man.
Yeah, man. Great to see you, man. Have a great day.
See you, man.
I like that smile. What's up, Jose?
What's up, Grant?
Top that. Doing good. Doing good.
So before I had my couple questions, first of all, I just want to say that I think this whole first day of practice for Trey Lance, I think up until training camp, this is going to be a dog and pony type of show. Because you already saw it. It's a lot of outs and slants and a lot of look good for the cameras type of stuff.
That's exactly what yesterday was. It was like when he threw his 18th quick out, I was like, okay, so you want us to say that he was 20 of 24 today and he looked good. Got it. Okay, fine. I'll do it.
Yeah, I just think it's going to be like that until training camp when the real practice starts and all that. And then so my question is, in order to ask this question, I got to talk about last year. So after we had lost the Super Bowl last year, the expectation was to have the revenge tour, right?
Right.
But then the reality was we ended up being injured.
It was the reality tour. It was the reality tour.
And we got injured and then went 6-10. That was the reality of it. So my question for you is, for 2021, now that we got the schedule out and with the Trey Lance possibilities and whatnot, what do you think the expectations are, and then what the reality is going to be for 2021?
I think the expectations are double-digit wins. Definitely a winning season. 10 at the minimum. 11 seems to be fair. I think Niner fans are expecting 13, but that should be the upper. Like if Trey Lance takes it over early and is really good, or if Jimmy Garoppolo, is angry and can build on what he did in 2019 and last year was a fluke, then either way, because the schedule works out pretty nicely for him.
Right. No, yeah, I definitely like the schedule. So I know you got him going week 1 at Detroit as a starter. I definitely don't think he will be the starter week 1, but I do think he will have plays. Like he will have, those a drive or two or at least 5 plays.
But again, I keep feeling like, bye week's a good time to make the transition. I still feel like it's not going to be the Niners' call. If Jimmy stinks it up at any point, it's out. It's over. If he starts off hot, though, then the Niners can do what they need to do.
No, yeah, I 100% agree. If he stinks, then they're not going to have a choice. They're not going to be able to.
Yeah.
And then with that expectation,
and he usually stinks week 1. That's the thing about Jimmy.
Yeah,
he usually does.
And now that you said the expectations, what do you think is really going to happen with the season? I know you laid out.
I have significant questions about the durability of their best players, the readiness of their defensive coordinator, and their quarterback stability. I mean, so I think 11 wins. They get to the playoffs. They're a wild card, and they just can't make it all the way. But it's a winning season.
I definitely look at it the same way. I think 11-12 to wins is realistic, especially considering that we brought everybody back and the expectation is to have it, like you said, a winning season, especially for Kyle's job. He kind of really needs that on his resume right now. Yeah, most definitely. So, I mean, and then the other thing too that I wanted to discuss was the whole D'Amico Ryans thing. So, I know you've already discussed it, and just to double down on it, I know they brought in Betcher from the Cardinals back when he was there, when Todd Bowles kind of runs that same type of defense that Mike Pettin.
He was under Bowles, and then he replaced Bowles, and then he was with the Giants last year.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that influence with D'Amico Ryans, who I've already mentioned on the show, was a linebacker that was mostly in an odd front defense. I definitely expect us to see a lot more of those type of fronts, because James Betcher is the same defense, 3-4 man blitz, a lot of man blitz. So I think Abucom, I think he could be that Bruce Irving type of role that he was for Seattle back in his prime.
Stand-up rusher.
Yeah, exactly. As the stand-up rusher next to like an Eric Armstead or Bosa. I definitely think there's going to be a lot of changes. I mean, it's just the question is, who do you put as your nose guard if you go with that? Do you use DJ Jones or do you use Kinlaw? That's.
I think they're going to end up putting Kinlaw over there. Honestly, that's my feeling with Kinlaw, is that he's a very good nose tackle.
He is a bull in a china shop.
That's the way I see him. He's a one technique. I don't think to me, a three technique is a really refined pass rusher with multiple moves and counters and a plan. And if you're not that, like Armstead isn't that, but he's good at what he does most of the time. Kinlaw, I don't think is that either, but he can be good at what he does. It's just when you're drafting a defensive tackle with the 14th pick, you're really hoping he's Warren Sapp and he's going to be that three technique,
Right. No, he definitely needs to continue to develop his pass rush, and
of course,
I definitely think this whole defense is going to be experimental, considering that it's D'Amico Ryans' first year and he's kind of learning on the job. Because in all honesty, Robert Saleh struggled for a while. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
I remember early in this regime that at 49er games, they were calling out Saleh literally the entire game in the stands. So, I think D'Amico Ryans, though, does have that initial better step because Saleh literally learned on the job as he went. Like now, D'Amico Ryans is going to a situation where it's already established players on an established defense.
True.
And you got the guy looking over you to help you out and give you tips and whatnot.
And he was there with Saleh, so he's seen how he coached these players.
He's a big guy like Saleh, and the linebackers respect and love him to death. So I definitely see this, not being as bad as it was in 2017 when Saleh started, but definitely not as great as it was last year, obviously. It's going to be like kind of that middle, that mesh, of an in-between type of defense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I was focused on Kyle yesterday, but I need to be as focused on D'Amico and the OTAs because we have no idea what his defense is going to look like. We assume he's going to be, recreating the Robert Saleh defense. Maybe he's got his own thing he wants to do. Maybe there's an evolution.
It's going to be the same, like similar type of concepts, but it's definitely going to have a lot more experimental to it. I definitely
going to have his twist, and I want to see what his stamp is.
Yeah, and two is like. I'm just really excited, honestly, for this whole. This is the most talked about I've ever heard from the Niners in the off season. So it's very exciting to see.
The Cowboys now.
To that preseason part you guys were talking about earlier, the way I think this preseason is going to work for most teams, including the Niners, is considering, like you said earlier, they usually start off slow with the starters and then they kind of ramp up and then shut down in week 4. I think it'll be the opposite. I think they'll start heavy. Starters will be heavy in the first game, and then they'll slow down shortly by week 2 and week 3.
Be interesting to see how they can figure it, man. Hey, great to see you, Jose.
Have a good day, Grant.
Yeah, thanks, man. Shay says, I can't call him today because of work. We just wanted to say keep up the good work, brother. Hey, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Right. What's up, Jacob? How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
Good, man. Where are you calling from?
Burlingame.
Oh, nice. Cool.
A little rainy today, but
yeah, I'm in Oakland, man. I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah. I want to talk about the running back room and situation. And real quickly, do you think Raheem Mostert is still getting traded?
Man, Jack,
I don't think so. Because
I don't want them to. I like Raheem
because
Mostert.
I think this is going to happen. And I think a lot of people are missing it. Where if you want to know what Shanahan's doing, you have to look at Sean McVay and what he did last year. And I think McVay came in last season saying Cam Akers is the best running back on the team. And the first 10 weeks of the season, Daryl Henderson and Malcolm Brown play the majority of snaps.
There you go.
And Shanahan's thinking Mostert is the best running back, and I got to keep him fresh because when Cam Akers came in the end of the season, he was the best running back in the league.
Yes.
He looked the
and
freshest.
And look what Mostert did for the Niners down the stretch when they had to keep him fresh the year before. He won playoff games for him.
Exactly. So I mean, Wayne Gallman is the most unexciting signing. He's like Tevin Coleman 2.0. So I think a lot of Niner fans are going to be really upset with him, but it's going to be Wayne Gallman and Jeff Wilson Jr. taking the majority of snaps the first 10 weeks. And I think
Trey Sermon too.
Trey Sermon. Week 11, Ricky Mostert is going to come in. He's going to be fresh. He's going to be fast, healthy, and he's going to run by everyone like in 2019.
I think it's a brilliant observation that the idea is don't trade Raheem Mostert. He's an asset. Just don't burn him out. Use him in a rotation, a committee, the way the Rams did. I know that he's your best guy. Yes. I mean, he is your home run hitter, but he's also like a pinch hitter. Like you want to bring him in the right spots, and the Niners can do that this year. And if they want to wear teams out, they don't have to wear out Mostert week 4. That's what Gallman's for. Wilson's
yes,
for.
McVay did that.
Sermon's
McVay did that.
Yes.
And Cam Akers was the best running back in the league, week 12 to week 17. And it was just like that. And when we won the Super Bowl, Mostert started playing against Baltimore, and he went for 100 yards, and he just never stopped because at that point in the season, defenses are tired, and they can't catch the fastest guys.
Great point. And if Sean McVay does something and it works, best believe Kyle's going to do it too, and vice versa. Vice versa.
Anyway. 100%. And
great
so
call.
Next one.
Keep going. Keep going.
Next one, I want to say something that's probably going to upset a lot of Niners fans. I hope Trey Sermon does not start a single game this year.
Tell me why.
Because if he doesn't start, the situation is that Jimmy G and the 49ers are winning, and Jimmy G is playing well.
Oh, sorry, hold on. You said Trey Sermon. Are you talking about Trey Sermon?
I mean, Trey Lance.
Okay, start it again. Again.
So I hope Trey Lance does not start a single game this year. And that just means that the Niners are winning and Jimmy G is playing well. And the Niners are winning, Jimmy G is playing well. We're going to the playoffs. We're winning it. And then guess what? Jimmy G going for a 4th round pick last offseason turns into a 1st and 2nd round pick because he's healthy and the team might want to swoop him up.
Yep.
And I hope Shanahan has some packages for Trey Lance, like goal line packages. I think that'll be great. But I think Jimmy G, if we're overall, we should hope that Jimmy G is healthy and playing well because that's just the best case scenario for everyone.
That makes sense. And they can find an opportunity to play Trey Lance down the stretch if they have a first seed wrapped. Oh, they won't, but they can find ways to get him integrated into the offense without starting him. And what you're saying is if Jimmy keeps the job, that's it's only good for the franchise.
Fantastic. Yes. I can't believe there's too many Treys on the team.
Way too many Treys, man.
Way too many Treys.
Yeah, 2 Treys. That's amazing.
Yeah. And
I never grew up. I grew up with a deuce, but not a Trey. Did you know any deuces growing up? I knew a deuce.
No deuces. I knew 1 Trey though.
I kind of want to have 2 kids and name them Deuce and Trey, just for the sake of it.
Well, what about Uno?
You gotta have Uno because you can't name your first son Deuce and your second son
Uno, dos, Tres.
That's not bad.
Not bad at all. And
not bad at all.
Last point I want to make before I leave. I'm really disappointed how we handle our wide receiver room this offseason. I think we have no depth at all.
Okay.
I know you're really high on River Craycraft, but really,
I am. River, if you're watching, I really support you.
And who should have on with the hat? I forget his name always, but he was talking about the wide receiver. If Jameson Crowder comes available, swoop him up. I don't know why. It was Jesse.
Yeah.
I don't know why Golden Tate is still not on the 49ers roster. He's a terrible locker room dude.
Is he? I don't know. Is he?
He had some situation with Russell Wilson back in Seattle.
Okay.
But
he'll fit right into the Niners.
Golden Tate is exactly 1,000 times better than Trent Taylor at this point in his career still. And this is a slot guy, which for Jimmy G, he needs a check down guy who can get open on 2nd and 3rd downs. And, Deebo Samuel's going to get hurt for a couple of games this year. Brandon Ayuk might get hurt for a couple of games this year. Who are 3rd and 4th starting a game? If Deebo and Ayuk both get hurt at the same time, who are starting receivers? Travis Benjamin and River Craycraft?
Mohamed Sanu. Yeah.
Is that a Super Bowl winning team right there?
No. But here's the thing. Ross Dwelly. Get him involved. 2 tight ends, baby.
Just 22 personnel. Dwelly,
all day. I'm serious. That guy's I thought he was really good last year.
I'm high on his
game
too.
up. Yeah.
I like him too.
He was breaking tackles and getting yards after the catch. I didn't know he could do that. He's still never dropped a pass. I mean, I like him.
He's been on my good side ever since that game in 2019, where I think he scored 2 touchdowns in the game.
And he had a third called back against Arizona. But don't forget, don't think I forgot about that.
He gets open.
He gets open.
Defense just don't want to guard him.
Oh, this is what I saw it for my first myself. It was 2019 in training camp in the one-on-ones, and he was breaking off everyone. Jaquaski Tart, Jimmy Ward, these guys are really good in man-to-man coverage, and they couldn't cover 82. Oh, it's like, who is 82? Who the hell is 82?
His name's Ross Dwelly. That's who he is.
Dwelly, and I looked him up. He runs a 4.9. He was undrafted. Like, well, they can't guard him. Mm-hmm. That's been his story. And if you go back and look at his production in college, it dwarfs George Kittle's production. Like, he was the offense at USD. He was the passing.
USD though.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm saying he has all these reps. Like, he's used to being featured. He's used to having defenses try to take him away. Like, he's just a natural receiver. Not that Kittle isn't. I'm just saying Dwelly is.
Brilliant. Well, thank you, Grant.
Have a great day in Burlingame. Hopefully we get some better weather today.
Yep, we'll do.
Have a good one. That's a really good call. What's up, dudes? Hold on.
Up, Grant?
Wesley says, real quick, if Moser can stay healthy all year, he can win the rushing title with 10 runs a game. Yeah, that's true, man. What's up, man?
Not too much. Just cruising. Stoked to tune in. I was pretty nervous last time. I kind of lost my talking points, so I have a paper here.
There you go. There you go. It's helpful to have it down there just in case. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
First thing is, this is a shot in the dark, but are you a Workaholics fan? Because your intro totally reminds me of Workaholics.
I hadn't thought of that. I didn't make that intro, but I like it. It seems so like an anticlimactic thing.
It's very similar. I thought maybe you were into it.
Workaholics is a good show. I watched it a lot when I was in college. It was funny.
Cool. Yeah, I'm down with those guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was going to give you a little intro on how I even found your YouTube page. I'm obsessed with fantasy football. That's my thing. And there was a time where I was so deep down this tunnel, I was looking up just pretty much any information I could find, more so on teams, like the whole breakdown of teams, because I knew that's what I didn't know. I didn't know depth. I didn't understand defenses. I didn't understand these things. Sure. And I found your page, and you had the most easily accessible YouTube page. Every player I wanted, every area of defense, offense, you name it, easy.
Great.
And so that brings me to, I think that you should maybe incorporate a little bit of fantasy stuff into your stuff. I know that you're not big on fantasy. I've heard you talk about it a few times, but
it's humbling because I play it and I lose, and I'm like, I'm supposed to be an expert at this sport. I'm supposed to know this sport. And, girl down the hall just destroyed me. Like, come on. So, I haven't played in 10 years because everyone's like, oh, you're a sports writer, huh? No.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also too, you cover one team pretty heavily, and you gotta know every team and all. That's why the draft is so good, because when people are drafting, you know what they tell you? Everything about the team, their weaknesses, their strengths, because that's why they're drafting. That's why I paid a lot of attention this year, which also you gave a lot of amazing coverage on the speculation as to who was going where. So that's also why I was tuning in. So I definitely like to see you do a lot more of that stuff, especially when you say stuff like, I really saw Trey Lance check down a lot. He's probably going to do that a lot. Maybe if you're in a PPR league, your running back situation might be a little bit better. But then you have the last guy.
In my practice reports, I'll remember to put little nuggets in there, like, "Hey, for fantasy football players, this is relevant." Things like that.
I think when it's relevant, I think that's just good content.
Good idea.
And then with the fantasy football, so when you're talking about that type of stuff, or I guess actually I'm going to jump to what the last gentleman, Jacob T, I think was his name. I like how he's talking about the relativity between the Rams and what Sean McVay is doing and the Niners, and how that there's paying attention and how Cam Akers came about. He did have a few injuries in the first little bit. I remember that. And he kind of started and he was okay. He was running pretty well, but the Rams offense was not firing at all in the first half of the season. So I like the comparison, but the reality is Raheem Mostert ran like just more than 100 times for more than 500 yards in the first half of the season. I went back last night, I watched the first half until he was injured. He is so good. Mostert is so good. It would be silly to trade him. I understand the usage changing to try to make him go a little bit further, but also too, why don't people talk about him catching the football? Most of the plays that I saw, it was the few times where Jimmy nailed it in tight coverage, and he's got hands. When people
Week one He had a 75-yard touchdown catch week 1 against the Cardinals. Yeah.
He's legit, and I think that his usage there is actually pretty decently productive. I don't know why he doesn't get much more coverage as far as being a pass catcher.
Well, I'm telling you now that Trey Lance is the quarterback. If Trey Lance becomes a quarterback, you're going to see more throws to running backs. There's your fantasy football nugget.
Yeah, there we go. But also, Trey Sermon, when we were talking about him last time, I watched one of his rookie college highlights, and he had this crazy grab, like full extension, like behind his body. And I was just like, okay, so he can grab. He's not a joke. So that really ups the values, especially if the Niners continue to be so injury prone. When you're playing fantasy, it's like having I call it a golden goose. You know, that guy who's down the running back list or the wide receiver ranks. And if someone gets hurt, he's the guy, right? And that's kind of been a reoccurring theme for the Niners. So even Elijah Mitchell, you're psyched on him. You saw him running.
He got a lot of action. Trey Lance was looking at him a lot. He threw to Mitchell way more than he threw to Sermon.
Yeah, that's good. I like that actually a lot. It's really interesting.
But it's just one day. Just keep
for sure.
Watch the whole offseason.
There's a lot of stuff to proceed, but it's obviously good to know as it proceeds, because if you gather the data as it's going along and following it, it helps you make better decisions.
Absolutely.
And so this brings me to actually your point about I'm going to switch up my numbers here, but why I think that Trey Lance is going to start. Because you're talking about, everyone's saying, is he going to start? Is he not going to start? What's the speculation? And from what I've seen, it comes down to this. It's the relativity between him and Jimmy G. And Jimmy G is really, really good inside of 20 yards when he has about 1 to 2 yards of solid blocking coverage or protection. And his receivers are wide open. He thrives under those conditions. I see him hit ball after ball. It's great. But when he gets pressure and he doesn't have the ability to instantaneously, like maybe make another move to another receiver or whatever, he gets locked in and he's thrown into 7 guys just because he has to. And then what happens in the goal line? Because now all of a sudden your players are stacked closer. You're probably getting more pressure. When he gets pressured, not only does the throws get more errant, but 2, have you seen a wide open lane and someone from the secondary run straight at him? You know what that looks like? A deer in the headlights, big time. So
it's true.
That means that in the goal, or in the red zone, if they get pressure like that more consistently, because there's already less field to work with, it's already more compact, they're going to get that. He has no escapability. He has zero escapability. So Trey Lance can get out of that. He can move it. Jimmy G can maybe dodge a defensive lineman if they have momentum and they're not athletic enough to move it. He can make a little stutter step, make one guy miss. But there's not anyone on the field that Trey Lance can't potentially make miss. That's just the reality of it. Not to mention when he throws the ball, if it's a miss, it's far. It's overthrown. It's in a spot where either his receiver can catch it or no one else can. I watched every single throw. That he made, and I was like, okay, this guy's legit. And that actually kind of works right into this last thing, and this is funny. People compare Trey Lance a lot to a lot of different quarterbacks, and I did some pretty decent research, and my athletic scouting is a little different. I look for a few different things. I don't care about throwing technique. It's like golf. Everyone's got a different swing. Can you throw the ball? That's the biggest thing. And 2, how do they throw the ball while moving? And that is Trey Lance. Biggest comparison is Patrick Mahomes. There's four key points here. His pocket pressure awareness, I think, is better actually than Patrick Mahomes. Now, obviously, he's got to upgrade to a faster league, right? But initially, the movements that he makes, according to initial pressure, looks better to me than what Patrick Mahomes can do. And then I guess let's see, what's the other one here? I wrote it in the highlighter because I lost my pen. What does that say? Oh, his field awareness. He's not as good as Patrick Mahomes as field awareness. And what I mean by that is Patrick Mahomes plays defenses with his eyes. When he sees defenses, he's playing games from the start. He manipulates. Trey Lance doesn't do that yet. But he understands already pre-designated routes. He understands what he sees. I just think Mahomes is a freak of nature and can do that stuff. And the last thing, is he's not as good with his throwing mobility. And that's because nobody in the entire NFL has the upper body, lower body differentiation as Patrick Mahomes. And that comes from baseball. Nobody can do what he can do with the football. But what Trey Lance does on the move with his ability to keep his head totally still, his velocity constant, whichever way he's going, and throw across or whatever way he's doing it is right there with him. Maybe not as powerful, but his ability to not let a defense read his movement because his movement is constant, right? When you throw a ball, you have to stop for a sec or you make a movement. He's so strong and can do it. Man, he's
great points, News. Hell of a call, man. I got to get to the next caller, but thank you very much.
No worries.
You were
Yeah,
very prepared today, man. Good stuff, dude. Daniel, man, how you doing?
Hey, Grant. Hello.
Hey, what's up?
From Mexico. First of all,
hey,
good stuff. I've been following you for the last year, and I like your stuff. I just have two thoughts, and I want to know what you think. First of all, the 2021 season for the 49ers, I think that despite what everybody's hoping that Trey Lance will start, God forbid, I hope not. I think that with the moves the 49ers have made the whole of season, I think they are all in all win mode right now. They're going for the Super Bowl, because they resigned almost all the starters on defense and offense. They upgraded their biggest weakness, which was the offensive line. I think that with those moves and by drafting two running backs, I expected that this next season will be a whole lot like the 2019 season. A lot of runs, a lot of play action passes. That's why I also think they didn't address or haven't addressed the wide receiver position, which, I think the previous caller said that who's going to start if Ayuk and Debo fall. I mean, but I expect that they will run the ball heavily. They will protect Jimmy G a whole lot better.
Yeah.
This guy, Aaron Banks, I expect him to be a mauler. He will open a lot of holes for the running backs. I expect the running backs to be on a shuffle. I think Sermon will play the Tevin Coleman role. I expect him to be on the red zone. And the defense, man, it's practically the same defense like 2 years ago. So I think they bet on continuity, but they also improved a little bit. And I mean, but the most important thing will be health. If they can stay healthy, I think they can make a serious run to the Super Bowl because schedule is also very accessible. I expect them to win at least around 10 to 11, games.
I agree. They definitely can.
So
yeah, they definitely
I think that you can expect what you're gonna do by really watching what they have done this offseason, because whatever people say, I mean, Trey Lance is not proved yet. He's a rookie. He hasn't played in a year. So handing the reins of the offense and the team right now to him, I don't think it would be wise. And I think Kyle wants to win the Super Bowl right now so he can, improve his reputation. So in the next years, he can do whatever he wants and be the genius he wants or he thinks he is with Trey Lance and do some other things. But right now, I expect them to be the 2019 49ers, but improved.
Quite an expectation. Okay.
That's my first thought. And my second thought, I've been thinking, and I think it hasn't been touched or I haven't seen you say anything about it, but I want to know what you think. What do you think about Patrick Willis being snubbed of the Hall of Fame? And I'm going to say this because Calvin Johnson was enshrined. And I mean, Calvin Johnson was a monster at his position. But dude, he really never sniffed a Super Bowl, or he's not the top 3 wide receiver in the history. And Patrick Willis, I think he is. So I think he would have been he should have been considered to the Hall of Fame. I don't know what do you think about that.
I agree. He should have been in the Hall of Fame. He'll make it in, but he should have been in already. I'm with you on that, my man. I don't understand what's going on there. He's the greatest.
Yeah, and I compare it to Calvin Johnson because I think they have
same amount of years in their career.
Yeah,
If you
like
say that
10
Willis
percent
didn't have the
career.
longevity, but what about Calvin? Yeah, I think it's just because he played in the West
Exactly.
Coast, and it's
Exactly.
the bias. But I'll see what I can do. I'll call up
Yeah.
Goodell, let him know. Good to see you, man. Take care.
Okay, good stuff. Thank you.
Bye. What's up, dude? Hold on real quick. Jose says, hey, Grant, do you know if you have to be vaccinated to attend Niner games? If not, could you find out? Yeah, I don't know. I'll find out. I'll let you know for sure. Go get a beer. Dude, it's 11:20 in the morning. What's up, Amin? Great to see you.
What's up? I think
What's up,
I
man?
just want to get right into it because I have to go somewhere real fast.
Me too.
But I think the Niners should start Trey Lance. Now, here's some reasons why I think the Niners should start Trey Lance this year. Not if not week 1, but this year.
All right.
Number one, because when Jimmy Garoppolo got injured against the Dolphins and he hurt his ankle and he did horrible through 2 interceptions, when he came back against the Rams the next week, Kyle Shanahan made a game plan for him where he had to throw the ball under 2 seconds or he would just throw a jet sweep to Debo or something like that. So he had a game plan where Jimmy Garoppolo could still succeed even though his ankle was injured. So, in my opinion, Kyle Shanahan can do the same thing for Trey Lance, number one. And number two, we also boosted the offensive line. Our offensive line has Mack, Trent Williams. We drafted Aaron Banks and McGlinchey. Yeah, that's the weak spot. But I still think with our offensive line, Trey Lance would do fine. And also, he's mobile. So Trey Lance could still run around. Even if McGlinchey gets thrown on his butt, he can still run around. So that's another reason why I think we should start Trey Lance. Number three, why we should start Trey Lance. The third reason why I should start Trey Lance is because Kyle Shanahan makes you a game plan where you should be able to succeed. And like you said, Trey Lance looked good yesterday in his rookie minicamp. I saw some of his clips in rookie minicamp. He looked good. So why can't he do that in a normal NFL game? I understand it's against rookies, but also it's not like Justin Fields where his offensive coordinator is Matt Nagy. He has Kyle Shanahan as his offensive coordinator. Kyle Shanahan gives you a game plan where you should be able to succeed.
I agree. Yep, I agree. I mean, if Trey Lance continues to play in practice the way he played yesterday, he's going to start week 1. He looked great yesterday. Now he's got to do it against the starting defense, not against the rookies. But if he continues to do this, he's going to start because I've seen Jimmy Garoppolo in practice. He can't do that.
Okay, see you tomorrow, Grant. I gotta go.
Have a good peace. Say what's up to your parents for me. Hey, man, you never responded to my email about the date. Let me know.
Okay, I'll let you know.
Let me know. All right. I like it.
Hello.
What's up? How you doing?
Oh, good, man. It seems my thing froze. Hold on, let me go ahead and fix it real quick.
I wasn't going to interrupt you. Oh! And that's our show. That was really good. Goldblood 21. What did I miss? Just write it again. Don't donate. I'll answer. My bad. Let me know. What did I do? What did I miss? Go get a coffee, bro. How much better do you think our O-line has gotten? I think it's gotten significantly better. Yeah, I see you, bro. What's up, John Bon Jovi?
What's up, man?
What's up?
Good. This is actually my sleeping shirt.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Stockton, California.
Nice.
Yeah, not the best city in California, but definitely.
That's where Eric Crocker's from too. You know Eric Crocker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? I didn't know that.
You know, he lives in Arkansas
cool.
now, but he grew up in Stockton. Yeah.
Well, man, I've been. I'll go ahead and give a quick backstory. I've been a 49er fan since I was a child. I got to meet Jeff Garcia and Terrell Owens when I used to practice here at the UOP Stadium. That was under. Oh boy, that was a long time ago. But besides that, yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and contradict the last caller. You know, I'm gonna say this right away. It's not about Trey Lance's mental prowess. I gotta say, I would rather him not start this season. I'm pretty sure a lot of people feel that way. Just as a safe precaution, I feel like our offensive line is a lot more beefed up with Aaron Banks and everyone else. And but the one thing I'm really excited to see, the two people I'm really excited to see is definitely Aaron Banks and Hufanga. Hufanga, the reason is because everyone's saying, oh yeah, he's training with what's his name, Troy Polamalu. Yeah. And that's a huge advantage over a lot of other safeties. You know, as we all know, Polamalu, who has been like a top tier guy his whole life, that guy has never stopped. And I'm waiting to see that. We all know that the 49ers front office gave him the golden helmet along with Trey Lance, which is a huge step for us. I see I see the 49ers actually, going a lot further than, the past 2 years. Especially because one, we're battle tested. Two, we've already seen what our third string and fourth string and our backups can do since last year, which was devastating. But we have a lot of weapons. We have a ton of weapons, and we don't have Nick Mullins and CJ Beathard at the helm, just in case Jimmy Garoppolo gets hurt. We at least have Rosen, Studfeld, and then Trey Lance. That's how I rank them in terms of for one, seniority, and two, mental capacity. How fast can they get the playbook down? Jimmy, though, I know a lot of people hate Jimmy. A lot of people don't really like him just because he's very injury prone. But the thing is that, no one really goes in the NFL thinking, hey, I'm going to go play this game and I'm going to go get hurt. That's that's not what they look forward to. But with him, I feel like every time he does come back, he does a lot better. When we first got him, obviously he injured himself doing that stupid run play against KC, which we all were like, what happened? Came back the next season, got us a Super Bowl, came back the next season, got hurt, but not by his own accord this time, thank God. And then hopefully we can see this season he comes back and just kills it again, takes us to the Super Bowl. We have an easy path. We have 9 road games, nothing we're not too far, nothing they're too unfamiliar with, especially since they had to play their last few games away from home, because they were kicked out. But outside of that, man, that's all I can think of. I've been watching you for a cool minute. I hop on Rombo Talks. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
Of course.
He talks about you he talks about you almost every time he's on, man.
Really?
So I was like, you know what? Yeah.
Tell him I say what's up.
And I will.
All right.
But it's been a pleasure meeting you, Grant.
Pleasure, man. Take care.
All right. You too.
Raymond, man, you're our last call of the day. It's almost 11:30. Tom, Niner Empire. I'm sorry, man. I got to be out of here. But if you guys call in tomorrow, I'll jump you to the front of the line. Raymond, take us out in style.
What's up, G? So, all right. One of the narratives that I'm getting tired of hearing is the fear of, if we play Trey, something bad's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody just keeps getting this feeling like if we play Jimmy, you're guaranteed to have success. And I think the biggest misconception is everybody's basing it still off of 2019.
Right.
I think the problem that people don't understand is this team is not 2019. This is not.
Mm-hmm.
This team has a lot of the same players who they brought back, but a lot of these players who are not here anymore, the DeForest Buckners, D Ford's not really playing. I mean, we've been trying to wait for him to play, but he's not the same D Ford. Richard Sherman is not the same 2019 Richard Sherman. Get it out of your mind that this is a win now move. I think that's the biggest problem. So for me, it's looking at Trey Lance's mentally, there's nothing that is probably going to inhibit him from playing.
Yeah.
People keep saying, hey, Jimmy, if you put a good team around Jimmy, Jimmy's going to win. Jimmy's going to do good. But listen to that narrative. You always have to put something good around Jimmy to have success. Whereas the reason why they moved up to number 3 to get a quarterback like this is he's going to make the rest of the team better.
Right.
That's the difference. So with Trey Lance playing this year, it's not only the benefit of the easy schedule. It's not only getting to learn some of that Jimmy style offense, but a lot of people keep saying, hey, they saw him throwing short passes. The way I look at that is like when a coach sets you up and tells you to do layups, give him a layup first. All it is to get your rhythm down. But if anybody thinks like, man, this is going to be the same offense where it's just dink and dunk, yeah, he might have that. But the dude has the arm and the mobility and the bootleg, the Kubiak style in him to get out and hit those big plays that Kyle's been waiting to hit. The plays that have been missing.
Yes.
The reason why we struggle to win games on offense when we shouldn't be struggling to win games on offense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand, Kyle. We ended up with that fantastic defense and everything seemed fine, and it may have made some decision-making different in terms of play calling, but I still believe that Kyle wants to have that type of offense where it's no longer dictated by who he's playing. It's more of the Bill Walsh style that we're going to dictate what you do.
Yeah.
You have to defend us. And I feel like that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
Nothing against Jimmy. Nothing. the guy, like people say, it's not, injuries are an unfortunate part of the game, but I know I have family members who they get hurt all the time, and sometimes you don't know why. It's just something that happens to people. So he's one of those guys who just gets injured all the time. It's just unfortunate.
Yeah.
So, but the fans move on, move on. The move was already made.
Yeah.
It already happened. It's like you guys don't see it right in front of you. It's over. You know what I mean? So get ready to move on. Support Trey, and let's go for the let's go for some long-term success. Let's try to get it. Let's try to get another bowl. Let's try to get some, a nice stretch.
People keep losing perspective that it's all about the future. Trey Lance is the first-round pick in 2022 and 2023. Yeah. Like, you have to be thinking about long-term.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, hey, it was fun chopping it up with you in the chat yesterday, man.
Yep, for sure.
Yep. Have a good one.
All right, peace.
Later. Darius, it's 11:30. I'm cutting the show off. It's been an hour and a half, but Darius, I'll get you tomorrow. If you call in, I'll get you tomorrow, man. Thank you so much, everyone. Go have a great Saturday. If you're in the Bay, find something to do because it's raining. Have a great